So this is the unboxing of the Lenovo Legion Gen 6 AMD Ryzen 5 with a GeForce RTX 3060. So we'll just get right into it. It's got some tape on here. Okay, cool. Ooh, interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, let's get rid of that for a second. Sorry about the very poor camera work. So we have the 300 watt power brick. I believe it runs on 240, the actual laptop, but Lenovo seem to give a, there we go, seem to give a 300 watt for some reason. This is a pre-opened model, so that's why there wasn't any extra cover on it, but it looks alright. Looks decent. I didn't actually know what color it was going to be, so this is actually the color I was looking for. It's very much, obviously, an IBM ThinkPad kind of color, if you know what I mean. It is plastic. It is plastic all round. If we open it up, well, that's already a good thing. I did it with one hand, so that's nice. Nice little hinge. Yeah, okay, so what have we got? I was just a bit confused by the Radeon graphics, which I'm assuming that's because it's integrated, but I didn't realize that. But yeah, it's 5000 series. Obviously we'll go into this at some point. Oh wow, okay, so I was actually worried about this. So IBM laptops notoriously have a enter key that's very similar to this, and it takes up, and then the then the hash key is up here, so it's very like narrow. That is a full-size enter key, so I'm actually really happy about that. I know that sounds weird, but yeah. Something that's really cool as well. We got this little function Q, changes the power profile, and it changes the LED from this. So should we boot it up? Let's just see how it is. Okay, so we've got white backlit keys on the keyboard. I wasn't sure, once again, because this is pre-opened, it didn't actually specify. So I was hoping it wouldn't be RGB. I'm not a big fan of RGB on laptops, to be fair. Obviously, it would have been nice to have, but I prefer white. Okay, so far whisper quiet. So the color reproduction, I can already tell, it's not the most contrast display. Okay. Okay, cool. Out-of-box experience, standard stuff. United Kingdom. Yeah, that's fine. Why did my PC restart? Make sure it's plugged in, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So I'm going to do a little jump cut. Okay, and we're back. So I just popped in the Wi-Fi password. The keys have a nice tactile kind of click to them. It's a little bit, there's not much flex. There's actually not much flex at all, considering it's on carpet. They're a bit louder than what I'd normally choose, but yeah. This is the third boot. So I wonder if the function Q thing works. One is if it's BIOS. Yes, it does. Okay, cool. I don't think there's anything else in the box, to be fair. There is not. Okay, that's fine. I wasn't expecting that to, obviously, like I said, it was an already pre-opened box. Saved £100 by choosing a pre-opened one. Is Cortana going to... Yes, she is.
I'm Cortana, and I'm here to help.
Okay, so it's on carpet currently.
A little sign in here, a touch of Wi-Fi there, and we'll have your PC ready for all you plan to do.
Okay.
Use your voice or the keyboard along the way, and if you'd like me to stay quiet, just select the little microphone icon toward...
Yeah, shush. Cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this set up, and yeah, we'll jump. Okay, while it's doing that, let's look at the I/O. So what we've got over here is a hardware switch for the camera. By hardware, I mean this bit's hardware, not the actual bit that covers the camera. So that's technically a software toggle. We have a full-size USB-A, a vent. On the left side, there's nothing on the front side. No LEDs or anything. And on this side, we have a USB-C out. Let's just make sure you can get that, and a headphone out, which is good. Nice to see. Now, if we spin it around, let's see if we can get a bit more light. We have a power adapter on the right. We have another USB-A. This one has the power symbol on, so I'm assuming this one's available when the machine is off. A HDMI 2.1, 2 more USB-As, a USB Type-C, but it says PD on it, so I'm assuming that might be DisplayPort out. A 1 gigabit Ethernet, and 2 more vents, and that's the I/O. So I already covered the keyboard a little bit. Once again, nice keys. This tactile on the tactile clicks on the touchpad are actually really nice. They're really quite heavy feedback, to be fair. I don't like the ones on some of the Dells. This is not glass, obviously, but some of the ones on the Dells where you can't tell if it's a left click or a right click, or if you clicked it at all. But that's actually, so it does click in the middle, but once you get to the corners, it's quite hard to click that. A couple of things I noticed already is we got a little bit of bloatware. We've got McAfee on here. We got whatever this L is, which might be Lenovo Vantage. Oh, that is Lenovo Vantage. Okay, no worries. We got some of the Xbox stuff on here. But other than that, it doesn't seem to be too bloaty. Just typical Microsoft stuff. And we've already got things come up. We'd like to share some best practices with you. Oh, for God's sake. Fine, let's go through this together. Might as well. The display is the 120 Hz, 350 CD or nits, as most people say, or candles. Welcome to the new device. First choose the main device below. Okay, go on then. Add short support warranty. No thank you. No thank you. So gaming and personal. Oh no, we only get to select one. Okay. I'll call it a premium key. So you can buy it after the fact. That's weird. That's just gonna give me a web browser. Nice. Oh, okay. Interesting. In warranty. Weird. All right. Well, we can come back to that later date. Next. Legion Edge makes gaming a lot easier. Talk about the glance, battery status, and access to the keys. Okay, yeah, cool. Let's check that on there. The game shop, stock on gaming gear. No, thank you very much. That's fine. And Stadia, no. Lots of bloatware, basically. Alexa and some other stuff. Interesting. Very, very weird kind of stuff here. And it's added the classic Lenovo bar. I don't really get what the difference between that and that is, but back in the day, Lenovo machines or IBM machines didn't show your time on this one, so they added this one, but whatever. I'm sure someone in the comments below will say I'm wrong. But just to prove it, the display is currently running at 120 Hz. It's only an 8-bit panel at 1080p. No compatibility with HDR. And I'll just go ahead and run CPU-Z and we'll go get them specs and I'll put them in. Okay, so I'll put a screenshot on here, but it looks like we're running a Ryzen 5 5600H, which is as planned, a GeForce RTX 3060. Some of the interesting things picked up on GPU-Z is that resizable bar is enabled. I've just enabled it in Windows not to reboot, so we'll test that. The native clock speed is 3.3 gigahertz, but it's got Ryzen graphics, which is, like I said, interesting. Yeah, what I'll do is, like I said, I'll take some screenshots This machine is currently running the graphics card on a X8 interface instead of an X16. Don't really think we need that, but it's fine because it is PCI Express Gen 4, and memory clocks are basically 1600 with 22 CAS latency. So probably will be looking at upgrading the RAM to 16 gig, so it'll be dual channel, but also bringing down the CAS latencies down to about 16. Just seems like a good idea, to be honest. And yeah, sensors wise, like I said, it's just idle at the moment, but GPU temps are about 56 with a hotspot. Interesting. So yeah, I'll run some benchies later on, and I'll pop them in. You can only go into the OC power mode when it's plugged in, so obviously plugged in the power brick now. And yeah, I've run a couple of benchmarks, and it seems like the equivalent processor really is something like similar to an 1800 X Ryzen 7. If you listen carefully when I do the bench, you'll hear the fans kick up slightly, but not much. So if we get that to focus. So you go, the fans are starting to ramp up now. And that's just a CPU load bench, but yeah, very close to a 1800X desktop CPU with 8 cores and 16 threads. So I'm actually really impressed with that. My existing desktop PC is a first generation Ryzen 1920. So yeah, I'm happy with that, for definite, for a laptop. So this is the Superposition benchmark. This is 4K optimized settings. This is more for the audio test, so you can hear the fans starting to ramp up. I have got it on performance mode, and it's plugged in. Okay, so here's the results for the Superposition benchmark. We've got a score of 7153. Maximum temp on the GPU was 75. GPU utilization was 100% basically. An average of 53 frames per second, which to be fair isn't bad considering this laptop it's kind of middle of the road. It's 3060. It's not anything more than that, and it was running obviously at 4K. Under the DirectX graphics API. Yeah, it's a Max-Q variant, which I don't think there is any other variant, but 3060 Max-Q I think did pretty well. Moving on, we've got the CPU-Z benchmark. So all three of these are compared to the 7700K desktop CPU, with 4 cores, 8 threads. As you can see, the battery power auto preset is comparable. Moving on to the main power, it just dominates it in the auto preset, and then the boost power preset is pretty much almost double. It's not quite there, but almost double the performance. Moving on to the 1800X, which I'll show you in a second. That one is the closest match we could see on the mains power with boost preset, and it's only just shy of the desktop performance of the 1800X. Moving on to the included SSD, it's a SK Hynix M.2, 512 gig capacity. As you can see, the reads are pretty good. It's a Gen 3 SSD, even though the laptop supports Gen 4. I'm assuming it was due to cost constraints that they did this instead of going for Gen 4. Obviously running at 4 lanes of PCI Express. So yeah, 2,965 for the sequentials and 594 for writes. And a decent score all round, to be fair. I think it's not the worst and it's not the best. So yeah, I have done some extra testing and found that it doesn't get hot. And yeah, I'd say it's a good pair up with a laptop. Moving on to the battery. The laptop comes with a 60 watt hour lithium polymer battery. Something I noted is that it runs for around about 2.5 hours in hybrid GPU mode when doing light work. That's also the auto power setting. I will be doing a video shortly in regards to some other issues I've had with the laptop since, as it's been quite a while since I recorded the unboxing. And there's a difference in runtime if you're in hybrid GPU mode versus just non-hybrid GPU mode, where it disables the integrated graphics. Stay tuned for that. And that concludes the video. Thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, please hit that like button and subscribe, and don't forget the bell icon. Also, let me tell you about Curve. Curve lets you use your debit or credit card through one card whilst giving you 1% cash back on your purchases. Once you've finished applying with Curve, your card will be available to you through the app immediately, and they will send you one to the post. To learn more, click my affiliate link below.